Okay, Texas, it's time to get serious. So, let's get into it. The Texas House of Representatives has passed SB8 and sent it to the governor's desk. SB8 being the trans bathroom ban. Now, of course, Governor Wheels is going to sign it because Governor Wheels has stated that this is one of the most critical pieces of legislation that he wanted to see passed in two special sessions here in the state of Texas. Yeah, you heard that right. Governor Wheels stated this was exactly the kind of legislation he wanted to see passed. It was very important to him during two special sessions, which cost Texas taxpayers hundreds of thousands of dollars in wasted money, but didn't want to, do anything about, I don't know, the crumbling infrastructure, the failing grid in the state of Texas, the lack of high-speed internet in rural areas so students can actually, do their schoolwork and participate with the rest of the world, early warning detection systems for negative weather like tornadoes and floods, or even disaster relief for the people who've already been impacted in the state by climate change-induced flooding and tornadoes and various other disasters that have already occurred. None of that's important. Most of all, did absolutely nothing about the rampant gun violence in the Republican state of Texas. So, what does this mean for Texans? Well, more or less, it means that if you are trans and you get caught using a restroom that identifies with your gender identity and not what they want you to use, and it's proven, you could be fined up to $25,000 for your first offense and up to $125,000 for every offense thereafter. Now, I've read the bill, I've gone through all the testimonies, I've sat in Congress. There's no real enforcement mechanism built into this bill. So I don't see how the chuds in Texas State Congress and the governor's office are actually going to enforce this new law once it gets signed by the governor. That being said, that doesn't mean they're not going to try. They're definitely going to try. So, what does this mean for you if you're trans? Well, your daily routine might change quite a bit, depending. I mean, everyone's situation is going to be different. And you should definitely take caution about where you decide to actually go to the bathroom. So, what does this mean if you're cisgender? Particularly a cisgender woman? Well, let me tell you, if you don't meet the absolutely rigid, ridiculous, feminine woman standards that the conservatives and all the other nut jobs in the state of Texas push upon you, you're going to be accused of being trans, possibly physically or sexually assaulted in the bathroom, possibly harmed, subjected to genital inspections, identification inspections, thrown out from different businesses or bathrooms. There's no telling. Because more often than not, cisgender women suffer greatly under anti trans laws, where transgender women very rarely suffer at all. I know I'm not going to suffer, and I will continue to do whatever I want, wherever I want, whenever I want. And there's not really much the state of Texas is going to do about it. So I would just say take everything with a grain of salt. So listen, if you found this content useful, educational, informative, or you just like seeing my face on your FYP more often, I'm going to need you to do me a favor and hit all the buttons, starting from the bottom and working your way up. Share this with other people. Definitely share this with the folks you know in Texas because they deserve to know what's coming down the road for them. Thanks. See you soon.